Hey, rich friends, it's your girl Cha Cha reporting live from the Money Mantra, and we are back with another Forex education video. I created this channel to help as many people as possible become independent and profitable traders. So if that's something that you've been looking to do, welcome to my channel. Now, if you are a new or returning subscriber, I'm just really happy to have you here and to be spending some time with you today. I'm really grateful that you decided to choose this video out of all the videos on YouTube and that you decided to have the money mantra as a part of your trading journey. Now, hopefully this video will make something click for you or it'll help you become a better and more efficient trader. If not, I do have over 300 videos on my channel, and it feels really good to say that because all of this content is just things that have helped me along the way in my trading journey. So I figured maybe it would help someone else as well. So if you like it here and you are learning something, make sure that you do subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back. This is just going to be a quick video on TradingView. And we're going to be talking about some settings that you may or may not have on your chart. Now, I'm all about customizing your chart and customizing your trading experience. Since trading is a solo journey, the way that your chart looks should be as well. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is go over to tradingview.com. This is the website that I use for all of my charting, back testing, and demo trading. And it's pretty customizable. Just because you see my chart like this doesn't mean that this is how your chart will be. And that's exactly what we're going to be going over today. So, firstly, there are a few different ways that you can access your settings. The first way is going to be here with this settings gear, which I've circled at the top in pink. The second way is going to be here at the bottom, which I've circled in pink. And then the third way that we get to our settings is if we right click on our chart. If we right click on our chart, we'll see settings down at the bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to open those up. Now, over the years, TradingView has changed the way that their settings look, but there have always been different tabs that you can go into to either add or remove things from your chart. So first and foremost, let's start on our symbol tab. Now, the symbol tab, the first thing you're going to want to do is select your time zone. Now, this may not have been something that you've done before, but this is definitely going to help just by putting things in alignment to where you are. So I'm going to use UTC -4 because I am in the New York time zone. Now for precision, this is actually a really cool option because it lets you choose how many numbers past the decimal points you want to see. And this is something that it will become more important once you decide which pairs you want to trade, whether those are USD pairs, JPY pairs, something like gold, because how many numbers past the decimal does matter. So let's say if we decided to do 3 numbers past the decimal, that's all we'll see, but we're just going to keep it on default and you can play around with that depending on your trading style. Next thing you can choose on your symbol screen is you can change the colors of your candles. So let's just say that you wanted your buy candles to be purple, right? You can change the body of those candles to be purple. You can also change the border to be let's just say a lighter purple. And you can even make the wick something like pink. And you would know that, okay, those are your buy candles. For your sell candles, you can do the same thing. Let's just say you wanted to make your sell candles yellow. You could make your sell candles yellow. You could change the border to orange. And you could make the wicks black. So this is a completely custom chart. And you would just have to remember which is which, but you can also tell by the shape, the trend, the lower lows, the higher highs. Or if you want to be plain, even more plain, you could change the body of your sell candles to, let's just say black or any other color that you wanted, and you could change your buy candles to white, right? And let's make the borders black. All right, so your chart could look something like this. But it's going to be completely up to you and what you decide to look at. But for now, I'm just going to change everything back to normal, right? And I'm going to have my sell candles as red, and I'm going to have my buy candles as green. All right, so there we go. It's not perfect, but you guys get the gist. Now, the next tab that we're going to go over is the status line tab. And the status line has a lot of information that'll just tell you more about the overall price and the candles themselves. Now, right now, you'll see that I don't have the title box click, but if I click on the title box, you'll see that the currency pair that I'm currently on, which is USD JPY, the title has popped up because the title box is now checked. Or we can take that off and have our chart pretty clean. The next tab is the chart values tab. And right now on my chart, you can see the open, high, low, close values, which is giving us information about the candles. But if I turn that off, we no longer see the chart values on our screen. Now that's something I like to keep because the chart values help me to find entry and exit points with precision. And I just like to have that on. So let me just go out of settings for a second and show you why I like to use the open, high, low, close values. And this is something that I learned from a trader friend of mine, Capital Hill Trading, who is an amazing trader and teacher. So you guys should definitely check him out on Instagram and Threads, Capital Hill Trading. Now, if I were to take this horizontal ray, right? There's a bunch of lines here, but I'm going to use a ray. And I were to connect it to this candle, right? I can see that the low for that candle was 148.905. That's pretty precise, right? And if I were to move it up, I can see that the high is 148.163, right? So having that precision helps because if you're in a buying market, you want to use previous highs as your take profits and previous lows as your stop losses, and vice versa. If you're in a sell, you want to use a previous high as your stop loss and a previous low as your take profit. It really does help. So that's why I like to have the chart values on. Now, volume is important depending on which asset that you're trading, because if you know that there is a high amount of people trading in that market, your trades may move very quickly and they can hit either your take profit or stop loss, right? Depending on the volume, how many people are actively trading at that time. Now, if we put on the last day value changes, we can see that that is another setting that has popped up on our screen. And this is telling us the percentage that the market has either went up or down. And this may be helpful for things like stocks or other markets. But if you want to use it in your Forex trading, I don't use it. I'm not sure how you will be able to, but the setting in option is there. Now, if we click titles, right, I want you guys to pay attention to my stochastic. I left this indicator on my chart for this tutorial. If my titles tab is not clicked, there's no title on that indicator, right? Unless you know it's the stochastic, you want to have the title on. Now, this is really helpful for me as an educator because as I'm teaching, you guys can see clearly what is on my chart and you can also see the values. Now, in some of my videos, you'll hear me say if the market is above 80, 20, or 50 when referring to the stochastic. So it's important to have those values on so that we can see and give us additional confirmation for our trades, right? So that's our status line and some of the settings that you can do there. When you get to the scales and lines tab, these things are pretty much self-explanatory. So you can decide if you want your currency and unit option to be always visible, always invisible, or only on scroll. So we're going to have it on always invisible. You can also decide if you want your scales. These are your scales where your price is, if you want it on the right or if you want it on the left. We can see it moved, right? That's going to be up to your preference. Maybe you have two screens and it just looks better on the left. or maybe you just like it on the right because that's the default and that's the only way that you've been seeing it. Now, no overlapping labels is you just don't want anything overlapping on your chart because you may have a lot of numbers or a lot of different indicators that have price values, and you just want everything to be clear. Countdown to bar close is a feature I really like, especially if you are a scalper. It really helps you because you know exactly when the next candle is going to open or close. And I like to have countdown to bar close on. Now, the market is currently not open, but let's see if we clicked on something like Bitcoin. And basically what you would see is the markets are closed right now. Let's go down to a small time frame. What you would do is you would see a countdown of when the next candle was going to open. Now, again, these are just all, if you go through and turn these things on or off and change the colors, you'll see exactly what they correspond to. For example, if we have our high and low values hidden, we can no longer see them on our charts. But if I turn on value, I can literally see that this was the high and this was the low. And if I turn on line, I can see that the dotted line will also appear, letting me know exactly where that high and low was on the chart. You can also change the format of your date and your hours, whether you want it to be 12 hours or 24. Again, that's going to be completely up to preference. And here's another place where you can turn on your indicator financial values. You can turn them on or off. Again, here's the stochastic values on. If I click it, the stochastic values are now off. So moving to the next tab, we have our canvas, which is pretty much how does your chart look. Now you can change your background. Currently mine is white, but let's just say I wanted it to be purple, right? I can change the background to purple. And I can even make it solid or gradient, right? And it can go from gradient white to black. It could go from gradient purple to black. It can go from gradient purple to purple. Oh, that's actually really cute. But you can make your chart look how you want, and you can make it really fun. Grid lines, I don't have any grid lines on my chart right now, so you can add them if you like, and they will pop up. Pane separators are this line right here. So currently I can see my pane separator is black, but if I changed it to red, I can clearly see that it is now red. Or you can keep it white, and there will be no separation between the stochastic or your bottom indicators and your actual chart. So let's just go ahead and turn that back gray. Now the watermark is something I like to have on. It lets me know which currency pair I'm on or which asset I'm trading. Currently we can see I'm on BTC USD for hour, but if I turn the watermark off, I wouldn't see that, right? I wouldn't see that. Now this is again helpful for me as an educator because I do screenshot a lot of my charts and share them, but if you just want to not be confused and you want to make sure that you're on the pair you should be on, taking your entries on the correct thing, having a watermark is helpful. You can also change the text on your scales. You can, I know this is something I used to struggle with, having my navigation, I can never find it, but that's because it was on visible on mouse over. So my mouse would have to literally scroll over in order to find the buttons instead of having it on always visible, right? Which is the option that I prefer. Same thing with the pane. You can have it on always visible, visible on mouse over, or always invisible, but we're going to keep it on always visible. You can also adjust your margins on your page depending on how you want your chart to look. Because remember, this is your trading journey and it's completely customizable. Now, this is your trading screen. This will be where you're able to do your demo trades. Once you take a position, it will appear on your chart. It'll show your profits and loss. It'll also give you the option to reverse the trade, right? So let's just say you initially got in for a sell, but you wanted to get in for a buy while demo trading, it will be able to reverse. And let me just show you that, guys, that really quickly. So let's just say I am going to demo trade and I click sell. Let me get out of settings. Let's say I click sell. Okay. So we're going to put this in replay mode. And let's just say we click sell. Right? Now, once we hover over the trade, the demo trade, this is the reverse button. So now we're in for a buy, right? Instead of a sell. And you can still drag your TP and your stop loss accordingly, right? And this is for your back testing and replays, right? We really don't know what's going to happen in this trade, but that's just to show you that you can actually reverse it. Now, let's just say we reversed it. Now we're in for a sell, right? But I think that is pretty cool that you do have the option to change that in your settings, right? So this is just all about your demo trading, your paper trading on TradingView, which is pretty cool. Again, I just recommend you guys come in here, click buttons, and see what it does, because that's honestly how I learned all this stuff, right? Just basic exploration. Now, the last tab is the events tab. If I turn on ideas, you'll see if the market was open. Let's see if I go to another pair. You'll usually see something that pops onto the chart that is showing you what other people are doing in that trade. So if you're a new trader, that can be helpful because you're not going at it alone. You can look at additional analysis from other traders on TradingView to see if it's in alignment with what you think or if it's the opposite. Session breaks are, this would have to be probably on a smaller time frame. All right, so session breaks are these lines that we see here. I have another video, a shorter video on session breaks, and it's pretty much the opening and closing of a session. And it gives you a little bit more insight of where to put those highs and lows if you understand that sessions are always trying to take out each other. And I'll just show you guys a quick example of that because I actually love session breaks. So if we look at between these two lines here, right, this is a session. We can see that this was the high for the session, and we can see that this is the low for the session. Now, what should happen is in the next session, either the high or the low should be broken. So we can see in this session, the high was broken, creating a new high. And we go to the next session, and we can see that the previous high was also broken. So session breaks are really helpful because it gives you some insight into where the market may be going based on what the market has already done. You can also add economic events to your chart. This will be the news events that will typically pop up when there's news. It's currently 1 a.m. on Sunday, August 25th, so there's no current news. But if there was, you would see them on your chart. So these are a lot of the settings that come on TradingView. Now, obviously, you have so many buttons here and they all mean something, but I think that this was a really good introduction video onto some of the settings that you can have on your chart. And again, that's going to be based on your preference. What do you need? What are you trading? And what's important to what you're actually looking at. So I really hope that this video was helpful. I do encourage you guys to explore my full TradingView tutorial so that you can learn more about not only these settings, but other settings that will help you, again, be a more efficient and disciplined trader. But if this video was helpful and you learned something, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions or what other types of videos you guys would like to see. So I really hope that this was helpful. But that's all I have for you guys today. Until next time, rich friends.